People of IT, Larry Page. Do you want to know the answers? Ask Google. A classroom at an American elementary school suddenly got noisy. It was time for the teacher to check students' homework, and one boy handed in a paper printed with a strange font. The teacher asked curiously, "Larry, which typewriter did you use to do your homework?" Then the boy answered with a smile, "This is a printed version of my homework I did on a personal computer." A computer? It was hard for the teacher to understand the situation immediately. At the time, personal computers were not that common. Most kids did their homeworks by handwriting, and only a few did with typewriters, not only to the teacher but to Larry's friends. That was a novelty. "Larry, do you really have a real personal computer at home?" "Wow, I can read the whole thing at once like this." The friends noisily crowded around the boy for quite a long time. That kid who did the homework with a PC was Larry Page. Since his dad was a professor in computer engineering and his mom was a computer instructor, he was already familiar with computers. "I like computers a lot. I will grow up to be a person who studies computers." Larry entered the University of Michigan and studied computer engineering as he wished. He enjoyed studying and graduated with honors. Then he went to the graduate school in Stanford University and kept studying. There he met a friend named Sergey Brin. At first, Larry did not like Sergey because while Larry himself was introverted, Sergey was too outgoing for him. What is he always so happy about? He laughs at nothing and wants to stand out all the time. Of course, Sergey did not like Larry at the time either. Why is he so serious? He doesn't seem to want to do anything at all. But later, their first impression changed entirely. Sergey has such a good sense of humor. He's also a good leader figure. Sergey also started to think differently about Larry. Larry is very composed. He accomplishes every project with precision and without any errors. What made them change their views? It was the debate. Nobody liked debating more than Larry or Sergey. The topics they debated on did not only include computers, but also social issues, economy, culture, and other wide variety of topics. The debates were of a higher level, too. Larry and Sergey became each other's dearest debate partner, noticed each other's strong points, and became close friends. Some other friends were even jealous of their relationship. They studied on the assignments together in graduate school, too. One day, Larry said to Sergey, "Why don't we develop a new search engine?" Sergey replied indifferently, not really caring about what Larry asked. "Do you mean the thing where you search stuff on the internet? There's already Yahoo and Alta Vista." Sergey was indifferent, but Larry continued with even more excited eyes. "The search engines we've seen so far are not enough. When you search for something, you get a bunch of results from websites that are not really important." Larry's complaints and ways to improve existing search engines were clear. He couldn't stop talking. "I want to invent a new search engine so that everyone can quickly find a website with precise information they are seeking for." Finally, Sergey started to agree with Larry. "You have convinced me, and it has inspired me. Let's start working on that right now. From that day, the two started to bury themselves in developing a new search engine. They researched reliable websites and separated important ones and then made those websites easily findable on their search engine. Many days have passed since then. Larry and Sergey's challenge was successful. Finally finished. Now people can easily access websites of Nike or Adidas instead of other weird websites when they search as Acker Ball. The two debuted their search engine on Stanford University website homepage as a test. The result was a resounding success, and many friends flocked around them for compliments. "Wow, you guys are amazing. I have never used a search engine this convenient." Larry and Sergey were on cloud nine as they heard that. Then one friend asked them, "What is the name of this search title?" Larry and Sergey could not give them an immediate answer and just stared at each other. "Right, we did not think about it yet. What should we name it?" Then another friend nearby came up with an idea. "How about Google?" Larry questioned as he heard that. "Google? I like how it sounds, but what does that mean?" The friend got excited as Larry showed interest. "That means 10 to the power of 100. It is a humongous number. In other words, you can search for anything and everything." Larry, as well as Sergey, were immediately attracted to it as they heard the interpretation. "Wonderful! Let's call it Google. I like it." At first, Larry and Sergey meant to sell Google to a big company. As long as any company was willing to pay them $1 million, they were going to trade the search engine with it and go back to studying. But nothing worked. The big companies wanted to cut the price by an unreasonable amount. "Desk, they don't see the worth of our search engine that we put so much effort in. It will be better if we build a company on our own." So Larry and Sergey decided to found a company by themselves. Google, that started like that, soon became one of the greatest companies in the world. But one thing has to be made clear now. As a matter of fact, Google does not mean 10 to the power of 100. It's not Google, but Google. It all happened because the knowledge of the friend was not precise. Even after knowing that, Larry's mind did not change. "I like Google a lot. It feels weird to call it Google." Larry felt that Google was a very soft and beautiful word. There was no reason to let go of a name just because it did not exist in the world before.